You guys cannot reheat gnarly nachos every comeback, is what Katseye fans had to say about their recent comeback song, Pinky Up. But is it really that bad of a song, or are we just having a bad first reaction until we warm up to the song the way we did with Gnarly? Hi everyone, this is Ari, and I've enjoyed K-pop since 2015. It became my reason for academically pursuing media as well. I am currently reading from my notes if you're wondering why I keep looking down. I prepared a whole academic essay on Katseye Pinky Up. You can find the essay on Substack. I'm going to fill it with different academic references and a reading list. People who prefer written essays can go check that out, but as I know that a lot of people prefer long form video research essays nowadays, so that's why I'm converting that essay into a video. I am not the best at speaking, so this is going to be my first time. I usually communicate through writing, so please bear with me as I make this video. Alright, moving on. So, just like Gnarly, Katseye gave us an interesting set of lyrics to analyze. You might find this fascinating that through the lens of media analysis, the lyrics paired up with a music video are actually way deeper than what us K-pop fans are used to. Similar to Gnarly, Pinky Up holds a particular cultural and political significance. But unlike Gnarly, it seems that the direction team wasn't able to execute the idea in a way that the message comes through. So what we have right now is a song which is giving mixed signals. And personally, it has me confused about what direction the song intended to go. So let's analyze the whole song critically in the context of contemporary sociocultural and political shifts we have going on. Throughout the song, we have this motif that is repeated, which is Pinky Up. Now, Pinky Up, quite literally, is a pointer to the Victorian era royal etiquette where you're supposed to pinky up as you put down a teacup so it doesn't make a sound. So basically, it's about elitism, upper class etiquette, hence the song talks about social class. So the song talks about social class, which makes it not a politically neutral song. Pair that up with blonde wigs, swans, overconsumption imagery in the video, and you start to have an idea. Consequently, we have idea of old etiquettes paired up with imagery of chaos, partying, rebellion, and this creates a kind of aesthetic contradiction, which is very common in modern pop culture. So quite literally, we have this message, to hell with the old etiquettes. The rest of the lyrics also align with the concept of letting go of the old social culture. Very rebellious, very fourth and fifth gen K-pop. Now I'm going to discuss all of the major themes in the song in 3 parts. So, part 1, end of the world, hedonistic nihilism. The strongest theme in the lyrics is a sense of hedonistic nihilism, the repeated suggestion that the world is ending. One day soon, the world's gonna end, and I want to live large right before it all burns down. It creates a backdrop of instability and impermanence. In this context, meaning is not derived from long-term goals or structured systems, but from immediate experiences, pleasure, connection, and intensity. I'm gonna make out with my new best friends. That kind of those themes become central. So this reflects a broader cultural mood where uncertainty about the future encourages a focus on the present moment, often expressed through excess, celebration, and emotional intensity. This reflects apocalyptic thinking, short-term pleasure seeking, and collapse of long-term meaning structures. This sentiment is actually very relevant in 2026, with the shifting global order, economic and political instability, and uncertainty AI is bringing to the table. Late-stage capitalism. Nihilism is something that a lot of us are experiencing. If I was to juxtapose another contemporary art piece, James Blake's new album, Trying Times, captures a very similar nihilistic sentiment. All of this aligns with what some scholars called late capitalist nihilism. When the future feels uncertain or unstable, people prioritize experience over structure. Part 2. Anarchic vibes. As established earlier, the song contains clear elements of rebellion and disregard of authority. Lines such as, "If we get arrested, haha baby, laugh it off," and "Us against the world, shaking ass in the parking lot," are a clear rejection of rules and social constraint. Similarly, the reference to robbing the Louvre, a nod to the Louvre Museum and Mona Lisa. In the music video, we see Danny sitting below a Mona Lisa replica, which isn't even a painting, but it is on an LED. Symbolically, this kind of plays with the idea of defying cultural and institutional authority. So there are themes of attacking institutions of high culture, playful criminality, irreverence towards cultural authority, linking that to the fact that we had very recent big art institution heists. We had October 2025, No French Crown Jewels heist, and then in March 2026, Renoir, Cézanne, Matisse, their paintings got stolen. This makes the lyrics very, very relevant when contextualized. However, this should not be mistaken for a formal anarchic ideology where the song does hold the vibe and aesthetically might promote that lifestyle. It is not outright structural political critique, but rather more performative. It does have an anarchic essence. Now, is it a vibe that we generationally are feeling or not is something that's up for debate. Now for part 3, the one that I've been most excited to share: aestheticized anti-intellectualism. When the song pretends to be not that deep, with its brain rot or seemingly nothing burger lyrics, it is quite literally very, very deep. For context, anti-intellectualism, defined as a distrust or contempt for intellectual thought and expert knowledge, which often frames experts as part of a despised elite. This trend is fueled by weaponizing information for political gain and dismissing scientific consensus, often leading to increased reliance on and spread of misinformation. Let's check out another academic reference about this. Anti-intellectualism refers to skepticism or disdain for intellectual thought and those who embody it, or belief that educated individuals and critical thinking are out of touch with everyday life. Historically, this sentiment has fluctuated rather than following a linear trend, with notable peaks during specific social and political climates such as early 1950s in the United States. Intellectuals, often seen as scholars, artists, and educators, strive to analyze and address societal issues through research and critical inquiry. Anti-intellectuals may prioritize practical knowledge over critical thought, favoring common sense approaches and often viewing education, particularly in the arts and humanities, with criticism. In contemporary society, concerns about rising anti-intellectualism have emerged with discussions around declining pursuit of higher education, diminishing interest in the humanities, and a growing acceptance of misinformation. Critics argue that anti-intellectualism poses significant challenges to addressing complex global issues. Innovative thinking and informed discourse are essential for progress. Understanding this dynamic provides insights into ongoing debates surrounding education, culture, and societal values. Now, here are the lyrics which I have been meaning to point out in the song, which bring in the themes of anti-intellectualism. Delusion philosophy. Know nothing like Socrates. Fancy is the frequency. I'd kill them for you if it got that deep. I think that it's not that deep is a highly debated phrase as a thought-terminating cliche in our present-day social circles. I know that a lot of people have been talking about it on social media. Those brief, familiar phrases designed to halt critical thinking, dismiss debates, and shut down conversations. Hence, there is definitely a tone dismissing philosophy as an abstract or detached something, and privileging feelings, experience, and vibe over structure throughout the song. My question here would be, is it meant to be ironic and self-aware, or just aestheticized ignorance? The lyrics also emphasize highly individualistic perspective. Lines like, "No one could touch us if they tried," and "it's a state of mind," again, Personal perception and emotional experience of reality is being prioritized over external structures. This kind of ties up with the hedonism as well, This prioritization of mindset over material or social conditions reinforces the song's broader themes. Rather than engaging with systems, institutions, and collective realities, the focus remains on personal freedom, emotional intensity, and subjective experience, which again fits with the whole late capitalist vibes over structure culture we have going on. Intellectualism definitely trends during social upheavals, and we definitely have a number of journalists and writers suggesting that anti-intellectualism is again on the rise in American society. We have a strong emphasis, like right now, seeing the cultural trends, we have a strong emphasis on saving educational institutions and getting people to read. Brain rot itself is considered a form of anti-intellectualism. The Oxford definition of this term is the supposed deterioration of a person's mental or intellectual state, especially viewed as the result of overconsumption of material considered to be trivial or unchallenging. Yet, internet culture defines brain rot as any content that is seemingly low quality or of low value. We have historian and PhD researcher in decolonial archaeology, Gala Georgia. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She gives her insights. Historians have pointed out that throughout history, spikes in anti-intellectualism have always been linked to authoritarianism, and it's because freethinkers critique their systems too well. For example, in the late 19th and early 20th century, the working class tried to educate themselves through reading groups and study circles, and they were mocked for trying to be clever, and they were framed as pretentious and that it was intellectual cosplay. But it was these spaces that built the labor movement. They produced union leaders and they fueled class consciousness. During the rise of fascism in the early 20th century, it was academics and intellectuals who were targeted first. She gives an example that some of the earliest experimentations of gas chambers were used on academics. During the Cold War, 34th US President Eisenhower mocked intellectuals, and we quote, "An intellectual is a man who takes more words than necessary to tell more than he knows." Every authoritarian movement that has ever existed attacks intellectuals first, because authoritarian needs one story, one expert, one interpretation of reality, and independent thinkers are a threat to that. Personally, seeing the past year's social media trends based around performative reading and performativeness, my wider question here would be, is it really that people are getting dumber or opting out of intellectualism, or they're being made to feel unsafe about starting conversations about socio-political and economic topics because of these social media trends which are shaming everyone? Mistrust of authority is a very valid, natural human reaction to authoritarianism, but mistrust of academia, of history, of research is not. I have another researcher. He pointed out that chronic exposure to volatility and ambiguity fosters hypervigilance, decision fatigue, and an intensified desire for clarity. During times of political upheaval, constant instability, and cognitive stress, people lean on history and academia to soothe themselves. Would anti-intellectualism be a natural response during uncertain times? The natural reactions viewers experience when encountering artistic work tells us a lot about our collective cultural experience. Our natural reaction to art acts like a mirror to the collective consciousness, revealing the values, struggles, and aspirations that define a specific era or community. These responses are rarely purely individual. They are deeply rooted in our shared cultural history and social structures. I've been noting Katseye fan reaction to this song, and as of the date recording this, which is 16 April 2026, it seems that Beyond enjoying the beat, most of the audience did not vibe with the song. Is anti-intellectualism really in trend naturally, or is it a trend being needlessly pushed even when people are not aligning with it? That is my question. I have a few more critical questions. Is it alright for corporate-backed entertainment targeting young audiences so that K-pop to be sending messages of anti-intellectualism or perpetuating mistrust of academia and deep thought by aestheticizing anti-intellectualism? Is Katseye trying to reflect the broader cultural sentiment, or are they trying to critique our neoliberal moment in time, or are they promoting a political stance? These are the questions that pop up in my mind, and it's something that's been confusing me. I personally think that it is dangerous to promote any form of anti-intellectual ideologies right now, especially to a very impressionable and young K-pop audience. So overall, the lyrics present a layered mix of irony, hedonism, and subtle philosophical references rather than like a clearly defined political stance. The song has themes of anti-intellectualism, anarchic rebellion, and hedonistic nihilism. We have already established that. While there are traces of anti-intellectualism and anarchic energy, these elements function more as aesthetic gestures than as structured ideological positions. That's my overall thoughts on this whole thing. Now we'll move into the conclusion of the whole thing, where I talk about my personal discomfort with the song. So now this is where I have problems with this song. Unlike with Gnarly, a song which I was clearly able to tell was satire, with Pinky Up there is no intentional clarity. Where Gnarly gave us this impression that this is where we're at as a society, Pinky Up seems to be selling a lifestyle and an identity of aestheticized ignorance. Critical elements of the song seem to have been overshadowed by the elements of personal preachiness. If a song like this came from an individual indie artist, I would have ate that up. I'd probably read it as culturally aware or even a subversive piece. But coming from a corporate-backed act, it feels a bit off, especially given the socio-political moment we're in right now. It starts to feel less like a genuine expression of Katseye and more like these themes are being packaged and marketed to younger audience. It doesn't really work as satire either. It feels like it's hiding behind a mask of brain rot aesthetic. And that to me is more concerning than it is clever. Somehow it might be an accurate representation of where we are socially, but I do not support the intentional or unintentional political anti-intellectual ideology that the song seems to be reflecting. Youthful aesthetic rebellion is fine, but I do not support K-pop corporate media giants to be serving borderline anarchic lifestyles. Media can be used for good, media can be neutral, media can be used for propaganda. I truly wonder where this song positions itself. Is it satire and critiquing neoliberalism and late-stage capitalism? Is it promoting anti-intellectualism, anarchic attitudes, and hedonistic nihilism? Is it a self-aware commentary of our present moment in history? What do you think? At the end of the day, purpose of art is to spark cultural conversations and debates. So let's have a conversation. Your perspective, your voice, your feelings are very important. So comment down below and have a discourse, and I will probably reply to you guys. And in the future, if you'd like for me to analyze and contextualize other pieces of media and art, do let me know. I will be up for that as well. So yeah, thank you, bye bye. Thank you for listening to this whole thing, and I hope you have a lovely day. Yeah, don't forget to interact with art in a critical and intellectual way, so you know we can have fun conversations like these, because come on, this was so much fun. Wasn't it fun? like my nerdy brain had such a good time writing this essay and then making this video. Like, oh my god. Okay, bye bye.